Let me tell you something, and I want you to listen very, very closely. The financial advice you are getting out there right now is a total disaster. A massive, embarrassing disaster. You have fake internet gurus and your broke brother-in-law telling you how to handle your money, and frankly, it makes me sick. I'm Big Don, and nobody understands building wealth better than me. Believe me, the system is completely rigged by the suits on Wall Street to keep the middle class emptying their pockets. But today, that stops. I am going to give you the exact step-by-step blueprint to take control of your cash, crush the system, and together, we are going to make your wallet great again. Grab a pen, lock the door, and let's get to winning. Listen to me very carefully. If you have exactly $1,000 to your name right now, you are standing on the edge of a very dangerous cliff. Most people, and I mean 99% of people out there, take that first $1,000 and they jump right off that cliff. They blow it. They buy a fancy designer watch they absolutely cannot afford. They put a down payment on a car that is going to depreciate faster than a melting ice cube in the middle of July. Or worse, they throw it into some garbage mean cryptocurrency that a 19-year-old kid on TikTok promised would go to the moon. It is a total disaster. A massive, tremendous disaster. If you only have $1,000, you are not rich. I am sorry to hurt your feelings, but it is the truth. You are completely vulnerable. But having that first $1,000 also means you have a golden ticket. It is the hardest money you will ever save. I remember when I scraped together my first $1,000. The landlord was breathing down my neck, the electric bill was huge, inflation was out of control, but I held on to that cash. And today, I am going to show you the exact step-by-step blueprint of what you must do with that money. I am going to show you how the system is rigged to steal that $1,000 from you, and the one foolproof method to protect it and multiply it. If you do exactly what I say in this video, you will look back in a few years and realize this was the greatest financial decision you ever made. Believe me. Let's talk about the villains. Let's talk about the people who want you to stay broke. Because they are everywhere. Wall Street suits, fake internet gurus, and the big banks. They look at your $1,000 and they lick their lips. They want you to feel like $1,000 is too small to invest safely, so they push you into gambling. They tell you to day trade. They tell you to buy options. They tell you to pick individual penny stocks. Let me tell you a story about a guy. We will call him Broke Larry. Broke Larry is 30 years old, just like a lot of you. Larry works hard, maybe too hard, 50 hours a week at a job he hates. After months of eating cheap noodles and skipping nights out, Larry finally saves $1,000. He feels great. He feels like a winner. But Larry is impatient. Larry wants to turn that $1,000 into $10,000 by next Tuesday. So Larry downloads a trading app, listens to a guy on the internet, and puts his entire $1,000 into a tech stock that is guaranteed to explode. What happens? The market corrects. The stock drops by 50%. Larry panics. He has weak hands. He sells his shares, and now his $1,000 is exactly $500. It took him 6 months to save it and 6 days to lose half of it. Sad. And here is the brutal, unforgiving math that the fake gurus never tell you. When you lose 50% of your money, you do not need a 50% gain to get back to where you started. No. If you drop from $1,000 to $500, you now need a 100% return just to get back to break even. You have to double your money just to get back to zero. It is a loser's game. Broke Larry got played. Do not be like Broke Larry. Then you have the other extreme. The people who are so terrified of losing their $1,000 that they do the absolute worst thing possible. They leave it sitting in a traditional checking account. They think it is safe. They log into their app, they see the number 1,000, and they smile. They think, nobody is touching my money. Wrong! Somebody is touching your money every single day, and her name is inflation. Inflation is a silent thief. It breaks into your house while you are sleeping and steals your purchasing power. If inflation is running at 3 or 4% a year, and your pathetic prehistoric bank is paying you 0.01% in interest, you are losing money every single second of every single day. Your $1,000 might still look like $1,000 on the screen, but next year, it will only buy $960 worth of groceries. In 10 years, it will buy maybe $700 worth of goods. Leaving your money in a regular bank account is financial suicide. It is a guaranteed loss. You are volunteering to become poorer. I refuse to let you do that. So you cannot gamble it on individual stocks, and you cannot leave it under your mattress or in a checking account. What is the Big Don solution? What is the undeniable, bulletproof formula for your first $1,000? I call it the ultimate 1K titanium blueprint. It is simple, it is beautiful, and it works every single time. Grab a pen because we are getting into the real mechanics now. Phase 1 of the blueprint is the reality check. Before we invest a single dime in the stock market, we have to look at your debt. If you have credit card debt, listen to me very closely. Pay it off right now. If you owe $1,000 on a credit card that is charging you 25% interest, there is absolutely no investment on planet Earth that will outpace that penalty. Let us do the whiteboard math in our heads. If you invest $1,000 in the best market in the world and make an amazing 10% return, you made $100. Congratulations. But if you carry a $1,000 credit card balance at 25% interest, you are paying $250 to the bank. You gained $100, you paid $250. You are down $150. You are moving backward. It is incredibly stupid. So if you have toxic consumer debt, your investment for this $1,000 is paying off that plastic card and cutting it into tiny little pieces. That is a guaranteed 25% return on your money. Unbeatable. But let us assume you are smart. Let us assume you have no credit card debt. You are clean, you are ready to build wealth. Phase 2 is the split. You only have $1,000 in the world. You cannot lock all of it away in the stock market because life is going to happen. Your car will get a flat tire, your phone will break, your boss might fire you because he is a jealous loser. If you invest all of it and an emergency hits, you will be forced to sell your investments at a bad time, probably at a loss, just to pay the mechanic. So we split the $1,000. $500 goes into a high-yield savings account, not a checking account, not a savings account at your grandfather's brick-and-mortar bank, a high-yield savings account. These are online banks that actually respect you. They pay 4, sometimes 5% interest just for parking your cash there. That $500 is your shield. It is your financial armor. You do not touch it for a vacation. You do not touch it for a new jacket. It sits there, earning a little bit of interest, waiting to protect you from a rainy day. Now we have the remaining $500. This is your attack money. This is the money that is going to go out into the world, put on a hard hat, and work for you. Phase 3 is where the magic happens. You are going to open a brokerage account. It takes 5 minutes on your phone. Vanguard, Fidelity, Charles Schwab. I do not care which one. Just pick one that has 0 fees. 0 fees are crucial. Wall Street loves to charge you fees just for breathing their air. We do not pay fees. We are smarter than that. Once the account is open and your $500 is deposited, you are going to buy something called a broad market index fund, specifically an S&P 500 ETF. Let me explain what this is, because schools will never teach you this. They want you dumb and compliant. An S&P 500 ETF is a basket that holds a tiny piece of the 500 largest, most powerful, most profitable companies in the United States of America. When you buy one share of this fund, you are instantly buying a piece of Apple, a piece of Microsoft, a piece of Amazon, Google, Tesla, Walmart. You are buying the American economy. Why is this the greatest strategy in the history of money? Because you do not have to be a genius. You do not have to read financial reports at 2 in the morning. You do not have to guess which company is going to make the best new smartphone. You own all of them. If one company in that top 500 goes bankrupt because they hired a terrible CEO, they get kicked out of the club, and a new, successful company takes their place. The index self-cleans. It is a beautiful, self-optimizing wealth machine. For the last 100 years, despite world wars, despite recessions, despite pandemics, the S&P 500 has averaged an annual return of around 10%. It is the greatest wealth-building engine ever created. Warren Buffett, one of the richest guys around, says that for 99% of people, a low-cost S&P 500 index fund is the only investment they will ever need. And he is absolutely right. Now, you might be thinking, but Big Don, one share of the S&P 500 costs $500. How can I diversify? Welcome to the modern era, my friends. We have something today called fractional shares. It is tremendous. Back in the day, you had to have thousands of dollars to buy full shares of big companies. You were locked out of the elite club. But today, with your 500 attack dollars, you can tell your brokerage, I want to buy $500 worth of the VOO or the SPY, and they will give you exactly that fraction. Every single penny of your money is deployed and working. No money is left sitting on the sidelines. Phase 4 is the secret sauce. It is the part where most people get bored, but it is the part that makes you a millionaire. It is called dividend reinvestment. When you own a piece of these top 500 companies, they make massive profits. And because you are an owner, a shareholder, they have to pay you a cut of those profits. That is called a dividend. Every 3 months, these companies are going to deposit cold, hard cash into your brokerage account. Now, when you only have $500 invested, that dividend is going to be small. It might be $2. It might be $3. This is the exact moment where weak-minded people quit. They look at that $3 and they say, this is a joke. I can't even buy a fancy coffee with this. Investing is a scam. And they withdraw the money and go back to being broke. But not you. You are playing the long game. You are going to go into your brokerage settings and you are going to turn on a little feature called DRIP, Dividend Reinvestment Plan. When you turn this on, that $3 dividend is not given to you as cash. Instead, the system automatically uses that $3 to buy more fractions of the S&P 500. Do you understand what is happening here? Your money just made babies, and now those babies are going to work to make more babies. The next time they pay a dividend, you will get paid on your original $500 plus the $3 that was reinvested. It is a snowball rolling down a massive hill. At first, it is tiny. You can barely see it. But as it rolls, it picks up more snow, it gets heavier, it gets faster, and eventually it becomes an unstoppable avalanche of wealth. Einstein called compound interest the 8th wonder of the world. He said, those who understand it, earn it. Those who don't, pay it. You are going to earn it. But I have to give you a harsh reality check. We are talking about $1,000 here. Splitting it into a $500 shield and $500 attack fund is the perfect mechanical start. But $500 in the stock market is not going to let you buy a private jet next year. It is not going to let you quit your job tomorrow. The real magic of the ultimate 1K blueprint is what it does to your brain. Right now, you have a consumer brain. When you get paid, you think about what you can buy. You think about restaurants, clothes, subscriptions. But the moment you buy that first index fund, the moment you become an owner of the 500 biggest companies in America, your brain physically rewires itself. You stop being a consumer and you become an investor. You will start walking through the grocery store, looking at the products on the shelves, and you will realize, wait a minute, I own a microscopic piece of the company that makes this. When you see people lining up to buy the newest expensive phone, you won't feel jealous. You will smile because you own a piece of the company selling them that phone, and their spending is making your portfolio go up. It is a supreme psychological shift. You go from being the prey to being the predator. Once that mental switch flips, you will become obsessed. You will look at your monthly expenses and say, do I really need this premium streaming service that I haven't watched in a month? That is $20. If I cancel that, I can buy $20 more of the S&P 500. You will find ways to cut the silent drains in your life. You will start a side hustle. You will ask for a raise. Because you now have a place to put your money where it actually grows. The first $1,000 is never about the math. The math on $1,000 is slow. It is agonizingly slow. The first $1,000 is about building the infrastructure. It is about laying the concrete foundation of a skyscraper. You don't see the skyscraper yet, but without that foundation, the whole thing collapses. Most people are too arrogant to start small. They think, I'll start investing when I have $10,000. I'll start when I get a better job. That is the mindset of a loser. That is an excuse to remain lazy. If you cannot manage and multiply $1,000, you will absolutely destroy $10,000. The habits you build with this first small amount of money are the exact same habits that will manage your first 100,000 and your first million. So, let me summarize this for you, because I know some of you have the attention span of a goldfish. Step 1. Annihilate your toxic high-interest debt. Step 2. Split your 1,000. Put 500 in a high-yield savings account so an unexpected flat tire doesn't ruin your life. Step 3. Open a zero-fee brokerage account. Step 4. Buy a broad market S&P 500 index fund with the remaining $500. Step 5. Turn on automatic dividend reinvestment. Step 6. Leave it alone. Do not look at it every day. Do not panic when the news says the economy is crashing. The news is designed to terrify you, so you keep watching their commercials. Ignore the noise. Let the greatest companies in the world do the heavy lifting for you. It takes discipline. It takes patience. It is not sexy. You cannot brag about it at a party. Hey guys, I just bought a fractional share of an index fund. Nobody cares. But in 10 years, when those same people at the party are drowning in car loans and credit card minimum payments, you will be sleeping like a baby, knowing your wealth is compounding on autopilot. Saving that first $1,000 and deploying it correctly is the hardest part. It is a brutal uphill battle. But once you set up this system, the momentum takes over. Now, if you actually listened to me today, if you actually took action and didn't just watch this video while eating potato chips on your couch, you are officially on the path. But $1,000 is just the beginning. It is the kindergarten of wealth. You need to know how to scale this up. You need to know what happens when you hit the next massive psychological milestone. I have another video right there on your screen. It is about the brutal truth of saving your first $10,000 and the exact rule I use to do it without living like a miserable cheapskate. The game completely changes at 10K. Do not lose your momentum. Click that video right now, keep building, stop making excuses, and let's get wealthy. See you over there.